my name is Jason J. Rock Houston, and tonight I'm speaking with Ricky Cuball Wolf. And Ricky, you're the lead singer from a band, Factor1, and you guys are based out of Columbus, Ohio. That's correct?
Yeah, that's right. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Okay, now what's the music scene like there these days?
Well, to tell you the truth, in Central Ohio, it's pretty good. Not bad at all. It's one of the stronger scenes we actually toured to, so pretty proud to say that it's a good representative of music in general over here in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, now I was reading this press release your publicist sent me, and it was saying that you guys were formed in the winter of 2006, and one of the main reasons for you deciding to form a band was you felt that the music scene was kind of dead, and you wanted to put the rock back into the rock scene, and I think you guys have done a really great job at that because I first time I found out about you guys, I seen your video for the Stroke, which was off your last album, and even though that's not an X Factor original, it was originally done by Billy Squire. You guys really rocked it up and did a killer version.
Thank you. Yeah, we usually do at least one classic cover per album. We've been doing that kind of a tradition of ours for our records, and it really came out really good. We thought it represented what rock and music's supposed to stand for: decadence, a little bit of craziness, a little bit of party, a little bit of insanity.
Yeah, and did you guys do you guys have a cover on the new album that just was released in September?
Yeah, we did a cover of Simple Minds song "Don't You Forget About Me" from the Breakfast Club.
Oh, cool.
And, so far it's been really getting a great reception at the shows. It's an awesome sing-along song that almost everybody of any genre, any age knows. So it's been a really good reception for us on that.
And that's one of those classic '80s songs, and I think that just kind of goes to show that you guys could do a little bit of everything. I mean, that song was a little more popular. Let me ask you, because I haven't heard your version. Did you kind of like with the Stroke? Did you guys kind of rock it up, or did you kind of?
Oh yeah, well, absolutely. We rocked it up, and we do it our way. Our way is whatever mood strikes us, because we're not a band that works by formula. We think formulas are for baking cookies, not for making rock music.
Yeah. And I got to ask you, Ricky, X-Factor1, the name is kind of interesting. Immediately, most people when they hear X Factor, they think of a TV show, the talent competition. So I got to ask, was your band before the TV show, or did you guys come after?
Yeah, way before the TV show. We this band formed and really actually got named in 2005 for that matter, but we pretty much became official in 2006, and that's at least 2 or 3 years ahead of when the X Factor cheap show. That's kind of what we look at it as. I mean, it's hard for us to take it seriously when people that's on that particular television show are pretty much industry created clones, personalized to the sheet that'll buy anything. So we try to just associate ourselves with the X Factor show as much as humanly possible. And again, we were around before they were, so
yeah.
And
I was kind of
they're copycats.
Yeah, I was kind of interested in the name. Why X Factor1? Why not just X Factor?
Well, an X Factor is intangible.
Okay.
An X Factor is that unpredictable thing that can happen, and we wanted to be the number one intangible, number one thing that could happen that you can't predict, and that's why we went ahead and do the one at the end of it, just so it wouldn't be just an X Factor as compared to even the comic book back in the day. So we threw the one on there, and if our logo, the X, the F, and the one is pretty much the standout points on our name. So it creates even a symmetrical look, even to some degree, for our on our logo. So.
Yeah, I mean, people a lot of times, when bands are formed, but people don't even think about things like that. That's kind of interesting that you you bring that up. Thinking about the X and the one, and people notice that. But I was also interested in reading this press release your publicist sent me. As they're mentioning that mentioned in the press release that you yourself, Ricky, were contacted by a fan, I guess, some time ago, mentioning how he's a big X Factor1 fan, and that your guys' music really inspired him, and he told you about some of the pain he's been through. I guess his girlfriend had committed suicide, taken overdosed on some pills.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I understand you have a new single that you wrote around that story.
Right. Well, we our new single, "I Blame You," which is sitting around the low 60s on the charts right now, so we're real happy about that. After only 3 weeks in the pack, so it's a big deal for us. We have dropped 2 singles and made it some good noise on the charts. But this is our first single off Reboot the System. It's called "I Blame You," and it's based on the fact that we were in the middle of writing Reboot the System when we had met some people from the southern United States that while we were on the Mushroom Head tour, and we exchanged numbers, and a couple months after we got back, in the middle of writing the CD, we were contacted and just told that our one of our fans had lost his fiance. She had a constant struggle with thoughts of suicide, and he did everything he could. And our music was helping inspire him to empowering him to have the strength to go on himself after losing loved one like that. So it kind of was really powerful in our lives at the time. And again, we were writing Reboot System, and it was just one of them kind of things that seemed like it was just the right time for us to do our own little part for suicide intervention.
And did you and the rest of the band, or any of the people at your label, you guys at all have any concerns about covering such a heavy topic?
Well, we're actually talking about that tonight because we're shooting a video over the next couple of days, and we're hoping to get it out right before Christmas. It's one of those kind of things that, I understand it's, a lot easier to do songs about partying and good times and, the other, more pleasant, aspects of music. But, if you've got versatility and in your band and you have a social awareness, you have to touch, on everything because, you can't really be real in real life unless you, hit upon, in my opinion, on a different, subjects. And I think guys like Slipknot and Stone Sour, they really do that really well. They're able to do tasteful songs, singing about painful subjects that, that actually have substance, more than being on the superficiality of life, So,
I totally.
We do it all. We do it all, and we hope people enjoy it. But it's not. We make music for us as much as anything, and we have to be, true to yourself.
I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying, Ricky, and I got to say, without having even heard this song yet, I want to hear the song just because of knowing the story behind it, and it kind of interests me. And then it's kind of interesting that you guys are releasing this, a couple of months after, Robin Williams had hung himself, and it's kind of interesting because, when that happened, people, here's a guy that he spent his life making people laugh, and apparently he had a lot of pain he was going through, and private, demons and stuff he was suffering. And look at how many people were shocked when they heard about, his suicide. So I think it's great that you guys are putting this message out there. And it's kind of interesting that this guy initially contacted Diva's fan, telling you his story, and you were so inspired to write a song. Now I got to ask you, after you wrote the song, did you contact this guy? Did you let him hear the finished product? And what was his response?
It's interesting you say that because we, didn't know at the time that we, it was kind of, coming in that influential way. And then by the time it actually came together enough to want to do that, my roadie had deleted my whole iCloud by mistake, and because I had given him one of my old iPhones, and I'd given him my password, and he deleted my whole iCloud, which means I lost everything that I ever had at that particular number.
Wow.
Hundreds, literally almost 1,000 contacts, and all my, text messages, transmissions, and everything like that. So, I don't even really have any way whatsoever to get a hold of the guy to tell him, the inspiration behind the song. So that's really interesting,
Oh, well, how cool is that? Maybe, if he's that big of a fan, maybe, he'll find out, through that way. That'd be kind of interesting. Now, I got to ask you.
Yeah. I hope it goes viral, and I hope it can, be an intervention for suicide, and somehow he'll, find out about it because, when we were sending my phone number is inside the CD. It was inside of our last CD, and you know, I get text messages all the time, and I just don't necessarily save the phone numbers.
Yeah.
You know, you just say, hey, you know, I'm glad we could inspire or stay strong. You know? And, you know, the fact that, you know, the banter didn't go back and forth, you know, for a while, you know, I just didn't save the number, and, you know, I just figured I'd be able to save it at any time with it in my email. Or my text messages, and, you know, and unfortunately, my Wi-Fi got deleted, everything got deleted.
Oh, wow. Well,
so it ended up being a weird situation, but, you know, I mean, I'm sure we'll touch base again. So, I hope.
I mean, if he you know, he was able to contact you guys initially, he's that big of a fan that
right. That's what I'm hoping to.
And let me ask you, you know, on this note, I mean, even just releasing a video and a song about this guy's story, or, you know, this topic of suicide is a great thing. Have you guys have you had any discussions about, like, you know, raising any kind of money to help with that, or?
Well, I mean, we did an interview with another magazine, and one of them was associated with, you know, the Suicide Prevention Center, and you know, she said when we get done with the video to, you know, get that thing over to her, because you know, it might be something they might be willing to get behind and use as, you know, kind of a, you know, a poster child, you know, for lack of a better, you know, phrase, you know, to, you know, kind of reach out to people more in our genre of music, you know, our genre of people, you know, because you know, suicide, it strikes all, you know, walks and classes and cultures of people, and but you know, with us being in the rock world, you know, it might you know, help people who might be a little bit too proud or think, you know, they're not cool or whatever like that, to say, hey, you know, I need help. You know,
I mean,
so, might be, you know, something we could help with.
Yeah, not to beat a dead horse here, but you know, that's the thing, Ricky, that you know, when I read about this song and kind of what inspired it, you know, I mean, just that's the power of music. That's the power of, you know, rock and roll, if you will. I mean, just think about that. If one person listens to this song that's just, you know, contemplating suicide, and maybe they listen to your song and they're positively uplifted, or they know what the song's about, you know, and they decide.
That's what we're looking for. We're looking to be an intervention for that. We're looking to have people, you know, see this video particularly and say, hey, you know, you can save someone's life by simply listening.
Yeah.
You can save a life by just simply listening to someone. You know, and you know, that's kind of the message you want to put out there. Just tell people, hey, you know, during the holidays, which is, you know, usually an especially hard time for, you know, for people who are, you know, suicidal. It's usually, you know, generally a more depressing time. A little bit more tough, you know, on our friends that are hurting, and that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that, you know, at this particular time of the year, that people pay maybe a little bit of close attention to that friend who might be spending Christmas alone or not have family, things like that.
And so let me ask you about the video. Is the video already shot? You said you shot it a few days ago.
No, we're shooting it tomorrow. We're start shooting tomorrow, and we're going to roll right through, and we're going to try to get this thing out by next weekend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we have a full team from Highway Pictures on it. We're gonna shoot this thing over the next 3 days, and we're gonna edit it over the next 4 days, and hopefully we can get this thing out for a Revolver magazine, you know, world premiere over there on their site. Actually, we've been debuting our videos through when we release them, and hopefully this thing can have the impact right, you know, before Christmas that you know, we're hoping that it even go viral. But, you know, anything would be awesome, but just, you know, we really want to get it out there and let people know that you know, this is the time of the year you got to be there for your friends.
And let me ask you guys, like, when you go and shoot this video tomorrow, like with the other videos you've done in the past, do you direct the videos? Do you have somebody come in and do that, or do you have your own film crew?
Actually, I direct the video. I usually write the script, and I'll usually direct the video and produce the video. But you know, I bring professional camera guys in. I bring professional grip guys in, and then I hire a guy to help me edit it. You know, who's, you know, the guys that are super fluent with the big time programs. And you know, I'll just sit there for usually, you know, upwards to, you know, 100 man hours doing the editing afterwards for even a 3-minute video. And you know, you get a great end result. You know, if people want to see that, they can go check us out on YouTube. We have several high quality videos, and we pretty much keep them in house and do them ourselves from beginning to end. It's just you know, sometimes you got to bring the guys in with the big cameras and the big toys, and you know, you got to bring the guys in with the big programs that
And the reason I asked that is
from beginning to end.
the reason I asked that because for X Factor being one being a band, a relatively new band that's been on the scene just a couple, since 2006. The videos I've seen that you guys post on your YouTube channel, they're very professionally, shot. They look like stuff you'd see on, MTV back in the day, if you will.
Yeah, and that's what we're shooting for. We think that a video should personify the message of the song, and I really felt like that, kind of happened back in the MTV days when I go looking back, and when music videos were big back in them days, and that was before my time and my band's time for the most part. But you see a lot of videos, and they told stories and they personified the music, and to me that's what a video should do. That it's supposed to be a visual reinforcement of the audio of the song, and so when we do that a video, we try very hard to make sure that happens.
And do you typically see, like, when you post a new video up on your YouTube channel, that people are checking it out right away as soon as you post it, and that that helps the sales go up?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes just someone actually understanding the story behind a song and the lyrics. I mean, there is always your audio hook in every song, but sometimes someone understands the music a little bit better or understands the concept behind it due to the visual reinforcement of the video. Sometimes it kind of helps them become a bigger fan. Again, we take great pride in our videos, especially doing them ourselves. So when people see it, they're usually surprised that we're not one of the big money bands. But we're classic overachievers, and that's what we do. We make sure that everybody gets our very best efforts that we can within our realm of finances and experience. And that's what everyone should do. Should always give your best effort in everything.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you too, Ricky, because in this press release I was reading for Reboot the System, it mentioned that this is more of a band album this time. I guess typically being the singer, you write most of the stuff, but was everybody more involved in the songwriting for this new album?
Yeah, musically, I mean, I still dropped all the lyrics on this particular one. There was melodies and music that came out. Everyone, it was fairly even this time. I usually write a lot of music too, but this time, not as much of the music, and you can hear that versatility of 3 or 4 different songwriters in this song, or in this record, but it's still got a cohesive sound because we wrote it all at one time, and we still have all similar influences. We just have a little bit of twist here and there that makes it interesting.
And I know you guys are currently on tour, and the current leg of the tour goes till I think the 19th. So, what are your tour plans after that?
Well, we're actually touring all the way up until the end of January now.
Oh, wow.
We've been adding dates as we went along. Mainly just doing 3 to 4 day a week runs in the Midwest until it warms up. It's a little tougher to tour, extensively in the winter months. Not as well attended shows at the clubs and stuff. So we're kind of regulating it from Thursday through Sundays right now, and we're bouncing hard and heavy through the Midwest, down the East Coast, and even going to be going down south in the Florida and Carolina area in January.
So these are headlining.
Get away from the cold for a little while.
So these are headlining gigs you guys are doing right now, your own shows, pretty much.
What's that?
I mean, are you opening for other people, or are these headlining shows you're doing right now?
We're headlining most of the shows, but there's one-offs with some of the different bands, that we cross paths with sometimes that are other regional, national bands. It's just, Alien Ant Farms here, or Psycho Sticks there, or Bubble Flex here, or some other band there. Most of the shows we're headlining, but sometimes you jump on a little festival gig here and there, every couple of weeks.
And I was going to ask, because you mentioned earlier in the interview that you'd done some touring with Mushroom Head. They're a great band, and of course, talk about visuals. What a great visual act they are. What was it like touring with them?
Well, that was our second tour with them, and the first one was in '08, just a couple years after we got started. So last year we went out with them guys for a really long tour, several full weeks. So we did 45 days and 46 days with them guys. So that was one of the most taxing tours we've ever done, to be literally playing 6.75 days a week, average. So they're great guys, good time, huge exposure tour for us. They bring a great crowd of really rocking people. And if you haven't seen Mushroom Head yet, you got to get out and check out their show. Their live show is great. They're awesome musicians.
And Mushroom,
and they're good human beings too.
Yeah, the Mushroom Head, their fan base is they're really diehard. So, did you feel that their fans were just as accepting of you?
I was surprised that it was so good. I mean, we had toured with them before, and we're not really that much different, in the versatility of our bands, and in the realm of the fact that we can do ballads and we can do metal songs. And that was what we did. We kind of catered our set to to know that we're going to keep it versatile, but we're going to remain our own identity, but also knowing that that Mushroom Head has a lot of metal fan base, and so we made our set maybe a little edgier than usual, but just total acceptance. Every night, just good people, good merch sales, and just a great tour for us overall.
And so as far as the new CD, Reboot the System, I got to ask you, were these songs that are on the album, were they all freshly written just for this album, or was any of the material been laying around for a couple years?
It's all fresh material except for the cover song, except for the Minds cover. This is stuff we wanted to make sure that we wrote all at one time, all together, and as a cohesive unit. This is the first time that in this band, since this band's inception, that it actually wrote every song, recorded every song, and toured behind every song as one unit. And that's over 7 records we've done. So it's hard to keep the same lineup together when you're just a regional band trying to scratch out an existence. And it was really great that that we were able to keep the same lineup through the whole process, and we're still in that same lineup right now, and you can hear that during the shows. This is a tight band. It's really on point right now, and we know these songs inside and out, and that's the good thing you can do when you tour behind a record, when you have the same lineup that actually wrote the record, recorded the record, now they're touring behind the record.
And as far as
usually helps the cohesion quite a bit.
As far as the recording, were you guys as a band? Did you record it like as a live band, or did every guy kind of come in and record separately?
Well, we usually try to record it somewhat live. There might be some things where some guys will go back and they'll redo their tracks, but generally we record everything at the same time with the mind frame of at least trying to keep the drum tracks be perfection. Be perfect every time. So if we get live, we get good drum tracks, perfect drum tracks from beginning to end. That's usually enough to build, from there as a base. But if we get good guitar tracks along the way, we get good bass tracks along the way, we keep them, because we're trying to set up and give it that dynamic live feel from the beginning, if it's possible.
And I got to ask you, Ricky, your nickname Cue Ball, is that a name you gave yourself, or did somebody give it to you?
Just somebody gave that to me. I used to shoot a lot of pool. I'm bald.
Yeah.
And those things seem to add up together, and
just kind of stuck. Yeah, kind of stuck up.
Yeah, just kind of stuck to me, and I've kind of gotten away from that a little bit these last year or so, just kind of leaning more back on my my name and amongst the friends who know me as Ricky. But I'll answer either one, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm ED.
Well, don't feel bad, because you're talking to another bald guy here, and I gotta tell you, I look better when my head's shaved than if I try to let the hair grow out. I look more bald if I look. Yeah.
I'm sure you're a handsome guy. I know I am.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. Now, the last thing I want to ask you, Ricky, as far as singers and that who influenced you, who were your heroes growing up?
I loved I loved Jiggins Hetfield. I know he wasn't considered the best vocalist in the world. I always loved Chino from Deftones.
Oh, okay.
I'm a huge Shinedown fan, and I was always into versatility. Even some Bruce Dickinson. All those guys, Dio.
Yeah.
Pantera. Phil's great. With his guttural influenced by it all. You can usually hear it in most of the music we do. You know, I can scream if I need to.
Yeah.
I can sing if I need to, and I want to show that versatility in the music because I think those are the best bands, the Led Zeppelins, the Queens, and just bands like that you know you just don't see a whole lot of anymore because you know bands are you know generally controlled by the industry on their pre-sampled guitar and kick drum sounds and their formulas that you know have been proven to work through you know sound samples that they send out through these tastemaker things and all this you know stuff that the powers that be do. You know we want to be unpredictable and we want to be an X factor in the music and it's important to us that no one can pigeonhole us with one sound. You know I think that's boring and I think that's wrong.
See, well, you know, listening to some of your stuff, I gotta tell you, that's one thing that really stands out to me about Factor1 is that I cannot think of one band that you guys really sound like. I mean, you do have kind of an original thing going for yourself. It's fresh and it's like I really can't put. You know, most times you listen to a band and you're like, oh, they sound like Metallica, they sound like Ozzy. Like you said, you sound like a whole bunch of probably your different influences, but it doesn't come across as you're trying to be a clone of any of the bands that you grew up on or anything. It's just
good, and that's important to us. I mean, you know, again, I think formulas are for making cookies, not making music, and that's one of the things that we say. You know, I mean, you know, the reason why we called the CD "Reboot the System" was because you know, you know, we think it kind of sucks that rock music is the lowest percentage out there these days of you know of the pie. You know, behind things like Nicki Minaj and Nicki Minaj or whatever her name is, and Miley Cyrus and stuff, and you know, rock music generally is one of the most skilled and talented music, you know, style music out there. But you know, it seems to be taking hind tit to you know almost every kind of you know crap act that's out there, in my opinion. And you know, we said, hey man, we're going to try to lead this rock revolution, and you don't lead a rock revolution by kissing the ass of the status quo. So, you know, this new record is about telling it like it is, keeping it real, wearing your heart on your sleeve, and telling people, hey, the best music in the world is rock music.
well, I tip my hat to you guys for that because I gotta tell you, one thing I hate about you know music fans and in the music industry is the way people allow themselves to be spoon-fed certain things. I mean, you know, I'm the kind of guy that I put a record on and I don't necessarily care what everyone else thinks. If I put on and I like it, that's what matters. It doesn't matter. Oh well, what do you think? Well, what do you think? What do you think? Or you know, I'm no longer a Motley Crue fan because Alice in Chains and grunge is popular. You know, I still like the music I grew up on. I don't allow myself to be spoon-fed. I really think it's a shame that people they don't necessarily listen with their ears. They listen to what everybody else is listening to. What's popular.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, that's one of the first song on our CD is called "Rise of the Rebellion," and it's basically about the spoon-fed sheep who don't think for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, that is the way it is. Trends, you know, superficiality. You know, I mean, guys in girl pants.
Yeah.
You know, eyeliner, mask, makeup. You know, a lot of those things seem to be as important or even more important. As a you know statement of you know fashion, for lack of better words, than it is about the content of the music. You know, and the content of music is always should always be what matters. And, you know, I understand people want to see eye candy, and I understand the visual aspect of that. You know, we take that seriously too, and you know, but the main thing we've always thought was should be the most important is the message and the music and the passion behind it, and that's just simply not what it is. So Reboot the System is kind of our way of saying, hey, with what we can do, with what we have the power to do, we're going to do the best we can to lead this rock revolution, because rock is about decadence and rock is about anarchy, and music's not about finding out who you can groom to be the America's next American Idol. That's not what music's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about what you have inside, and what you can what emotion you can transpose to that person who's listening.
Yeah, well,
yeah. Now it has to be done by model material women with fake implant asses and stuff like that, and that's what sells, and I never got that.
Well, again, Ricky, before I let you go, I'm going to thank you for taking time to do this, and I just want to say, to end an interview on this note, which is, I think the statement you guys are making with your music is really a great thing, and if anything of real quality, that's the reason you guys are still doing it since 2006. It's now 2014, because when you're talking about music or any kind of art, the cream eventually rises to the crop, if you will, and the good bands are the ones that last, and I think you guys are of that quality. So I am going to keep my eye on your guys' band, and I wish you all the luck, and have a happy holiday. Just to let you know, the interview's going to probably be posting on our site, chaoticriffs.com, in early January. I'll be sure to let you know the minute it posts, but please keep in touch.
Awesome.
Please keep in touch, Ricky, and
we share it and get it out there and put it all over our social mediums, and we appreciate the chance to talk about our band with you. We really appreciate it.
And
We're very grateful.
And you have a nice holiday, Ricky, and please keep in touch. I'd like to do this again. Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.